Guys, welcome back to Hustle Russell. Joining me today, Bobby Homer. Bobby, how are you, sir?
Good, Russell. Let's go.
Love the energy, love the enthusiasm, starting off with a strong hustle score. Bobby, what have you been doing during these quarantine times to keep yourself hustling at maximum capacity?
Alarm wakes me up at 6:30 a.m. That's Dubai time. Keep it on Dubai time zone in the morning. And then I just work straight through hustle right until 9 p.m. And that's, of course, Pacific time zone.
How many square feet you got, Bob?
I like to keep a modest 120 square feet.
Okay.
Less to clean.
What circles do you run in, Bob?
You might know a guy named Gary. That's my boy Gary. Back and forth with him a little bit. But I like to keep artists. So not just Gary Coleman, but Gary Payton, Gary V, anybody named Gary.
Are you familiar with the work of Gary Busey?
Gary Busey's got teeth that have, I think, been replaced with veneers. Listen, Russ, I've changed a lot since we first met.
Let's dive into that. Are you an artist or a businessman?
Yeah, you know what? I think that they're one and the same, because business is an art and my art is business. If you take a look at any of the things that I've made, you'll see a lot of comedy that I produce.
Oh, you're a funny man. You're a funny man?
Yeah, but not for free, Russ. So don't expect today for that to get any of the ha-has today. Okay, but
so you're one of those guys who a guy like me gets off work. We've had a long, stressful day. I go somewhere. I pay $6 or $7. You go up there. You try to make me smile. Is that kind of where you're going with this?
I kind of lost you at off work. When you get off of work, for me, there's just on work, and then there's on work harder.
I like a lot of what you're saying. I'm just not sure about you. Does that make sense?
Let's make sure we make the most of the time we have left here.
Let me cut you off right there, Bob. What do you think you could have done differently in your life so far to have been an essential employee during this crisis?
For me, the idea of being employed by somebody is absolutely abhorrent.
I like it.
You got to bust some shins to get those wins.
You got, Bob, I've been telling people this for years. You got to bust your shins if you want those wins. You got to run in the rain if you want those gains. Let me tell you one other thing. You better have a busy iPhone if you want one of those SBA loans.
Hustle score being only out of 10 really is a little bit disappointing to me. I'm thinking 11 is where I start my scale.
Oh, that's gold, Bob. That's rich. We got to crawl before we can walk there, Bob.
Russ, you can ask me what your hustle score is at the end of this, but I'm not sure that you're going to want to hear this answer.
Got it. Not here to be evaluated by you, Bob, and that's Mr. Hustle to you. How many friends you got, Hot Stuff?
Hot Stuff? I got, how many hot friends do I have, or
how many friends you got? And then I was condescendingly calling you Hot Stuff.
Oh, I see. I've maxed out. I think I've capped out at 5,000 friends.
In life or on one of those cute little channels?
Yeah, on my life channel. Listen, do you look at your friends as friends, or you look at them as employees? You look at them as business contacts? Because that's just one and the same for me.
Good question. Everyone I know works for me. Continue.
So when I fire somebody, this is how it would go. Now, let's just say, as a hypothetical, I sit down with you, Russell, and you work with me, and I say, listen, Russ, I gotta ask for your help here. We've got somebody working for us right now that's not pulling their weight. They're bringing us down, and it's not fair to the rest of us that are working hard that we have to pick up for this person's slack. Would you do me a favor, and would you get rid of this person for me? And you say, absolutely, right? I say, okay, his name is you. And then we're done.
Just to jump into another point real fast, how much money is in your wallet right now?
Don't carry a wallet.
Hot seat with Hustle Russell. You up for that? 10 questions, rapid fire, answer from the gut.
It's heating up, buddy. Let's go.
Question 1, Bob. Elvis or Cher?
Elvis Presley, and specifically during his last days. Go.
The king is the king. How many pairs of dress socks do you own?
I don't wear socks.
Little weird. Don't think your valuation's going to really improve from that revelation. Who's the most interesting person you know?
You know what? I'm looking at him right now.
Only one answer, and you got it, my man.
A little box above where your face is, I can see my own.
Minus 2.5 have hustle points. Gordon Gekko or Bud Fox?
I like Gordon Gekko.
Everybody knows. Bob, hate to cut you off. Everybody knows you're a Bud Fox guy. What's the coolest thing you've ever said in a meeting?
You're fired.
That's pretty cool. Someone comments on your Facebook post. How long do you wait to answer it?
When's the next Olympics?
Was the Me Too movement completely justified?
Movement.
Don't answer that. I was a little trap I set for you. Try to get some internet controversy swirling around you. I feel a little bad about what I did for you there. I'm going to pull back the trap. So what I'd like to do is kind of amalgamate everything that we've discussed. Drop a big, heavy 4.6 bomb right at your doorstep. A little worse than half, okay? A little, like the 5 would be and you're right below that, like just kind of like a little mouse right below the line. You can't quite breathe. You're trying to get water. Closing question. Who do you look up to besides everyone because you're so small?
That's a great, I don't look up to everybody. Most people over the age of 12, I do.
Guys, if there's one thing I want you to take away from Bob today, it's his ability to have people fire themselves. We're going to have a white paper on this subject forthcoming. Bob, anything you want our viewers to take away that we haven't covered?
I want to say, if you want to be Dwayne Johnson, you've got to drain the Johnson.
Any other rhymes you could share with everyone? We're rhyme community.
If you want to be the big bad wolf, you have to talk like a big bad wolf.
On the other hand, have you ever heard the ism, if you have any balls, you're making cold calls?
If you have ever met a she-male, you're sending an email.
Absolutely true. Also, don't forget, you got to risk it for the biscuit.
You've got to play hard to pay with a card.
Completely valid. On the other hand, if you want to be real mean, you got to eat protein.
If you want to be fat, you got to tap that.
Inarguable, frankly, inarguable. Have you considered, though, you got to hang at the Bellagio if you want to roll like Joe DiMaggio?
Don't be going into a dark stank if you want to make a deal in the Shark Tank.
On the other hand, you got to brush your teeth if you want to play like Jordan Spieth.
That's what I got tattooed on my lower back.